Hey parents, Carmine here with your video review of Team Fortress 2. Team Fortress 2 was released over 9 years ago, and the fact that this is still an extremely popular game is amazing. Most multiplayer-centric games, even the big-name ones like Battlefield and Call of Duty, retain their player base for no more than a few months after launch. TF2 owes its longevity to its simple, easy-to-understand gameplay, its focus on free-to-play mechanics that don't impede on that gameplay, and its thriving active community that continues to release fun new content on a regular basis. I chose to do a review on a 9-year-old game partially because it continues to be one of your most requested games, but mostly because to me it stands in stark contrast to Overwatch. Why pay $60 for a freemium game when TF2 is just as much fun, has a much greater variety of maps and modes, a thriving, established online community that's going to be around for quite some time, and is completely free on the PC and cheap to pick up on consoles? I hadn't played TF2 in years, since well before it went free-to-play, but coming back to it I found that compared to Overwatch, TF2 was easier to pick up, had more enjoyable rewards, felt more balanced, and provided far better value for its price even if both games were $60. This game is what every free-to-play game should offer. It's what every multiplayer shooter strives to be, and it's the best parts of gaming's online community all rolled into a single package. So, violence is the most important factor in this game. Most hits result in some blood that is often mitigated by the speed of gameplay and the distance to the targets. The only time when players are allowed to focus on kills is when they are the ones who are killed, since the game shows them how the other player killed them. The amount of blood, and sometimes gore, will hinge almost entirely on the class that the player picks. Picking more passive classes, like the Engineer and Medic, will result in very little blood seen, since these classes are discouraged from engaging in frontline combat. Classes like the Heavy, who is designed to draw the attention and gunfire from the enemies, will see blood frequently. And classes like the Grenadier and Soldier, who use explosive weapons, will frequently cause enemies to blow apart into chunks. Now, while the violence is a constant part of the gameplay, after all this is a multiplayer shooter with no campaign, the effect is mitigated by the cartoonish graphics and nonchalant attitude of the characters and the community. In my experience, this isn't a game meant for the hardcore competitive scene, not in the same vein as Call of Duty or Counter-Strike or other similar shooters. It's not designed to make the player feel powerful or aggressive. You're not chainsawing people in half or annihilating them with killstreak perks. It's a place where the casual and the hardcore shooter fans can join games together and not worry about how well their teammates are doing or whether they'll get kicked because they had a 0.8 kill-death ratio. Now, that being said, this is the internet, and so the online community could, at times, be less than spotless. In fact, the only mature language I saw came from the online community. So if this is something that you're concerned about, I'd recommend avoiding all multiplayer games in general, and unfortunately TF2 would be included in that rather large pile. The only elements aside from that are the fact that the spy smokes cigarettes and the medic can shoot poison syringes at the enemies. As a result of the violence but almost complete lack of other mature content, we gave this game a recommended age of 14 years old. Mafia 3 is coming next, and man is that going to be a long review. Unfortunately, because of the content, I'm gonna have to age-gate it. There isn't enough censorship in the world to let a review slip past YouTube spiders. The good news is I'm also working on Battlefield 1 and on November's Patreon poll, so keep an eye out for all of that coming soon.